What up, everyone? Welcome to Beats and B-Sides. It has been a while, and we will kind of discuss why it's been a while, why it's been, a little time in between streams. So today we got my man Supastition as a special guest on the 5 spot. And of course I'll be hitting y'all with the verse of the week. Also, super shout out, what up, Eli? EJ, sorry. Also, super huge shout out to everyone who supported on Bandcamp Friday. It was a great day. I appreciate you guys definitely for chipping in, you know what I'm saying? And it's really dope, to see everybody work and work to help us independent artists, in this time. A lot of struggle, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things going down. What up? Superstition in the house. Superstition will be in the chats to, answer questions or, say what up to the people. We're gonna get into this, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna start out with the verse of the week as per usual, you know what I'm saying? As per usual, as we do all the time with Beats and B-Sides. But I do want to thank everybody who has supported, you know what I'm saying? I am, as you can see, I'm trying a different day. Usually we drop these on Fridays. And as I told y'all in the beginning of the year, that I'm going to be, bouncing around on days and whatnot. So we're going to see how this Sunday joint work out. And directly after this, at 8 o'clock, of course, there is Super Duty Tough Work. So after we finish the stream here, you can just switch on over to Super Duty Tough Work, the Super Duty Tough Work YouTube channel, and check that out. Check that out. We're doing a special dedication in that episode. So without further ado, I'm going to jump in to the verse of the week. The verse of the week this week comes from actually a joint that I did with my homeboy DJ Criminal. We did release the Change Your Mantra EP a couple years ago, and we got a new joint that's going to be on his next album. Did a video with Blueprint for it, and it's really dope, and it's called My Little Corner. And I'm just going to drop the first verse, you know what I'm saying, from that joint, just to give you a little taste of what you can expect from that. All right, so here we go. I know this pretty well, so I shouldn't fuck up too bad. Yeah. I still gotta read it off my phone, start out with the hook. It's like this. There's a time to be born and a time to die, a time to stay grounded and a time to fly, a time for laughter and a time to cry. I'll be in my little corner of life as your time ticks by. There's a time to be born and a time to die, a time to stay grounded and a time to fly, a time for laughter and a time to cry. I'll be in my little corner of life as your time ticks by. Yeah. What is written isn't more important than the act of writing it. Wanted to retire today, but something tickled my spidey sense. Haven't been on a long road trip in a while. I just like bringing back things worth remembering. Haven't been blind long enough to forget what colors look like. Recall the blue sky that correlates to when the Wright brothers took flight. Floating on a cloud of smoke that bordered the notion of what humans are supposed to stand for. Never believe what they tell you to read or plan for. Have faith that my kids can stand by my written memoirs. A man with a legacy that breathes, enhanced prestige, just to show there's no tricks up the sleeves. Walking in the steps of those preceding my birth, they laid a path for me, plentiful. The salt of the earth, I've broken my back to hold up that history to build upon and solidify this little corner of life where I belong. Be born in a time to die, a time to stay grounded and a time to fly, a time for laughter and a time to cry. I'll be in my little corner of life as your time ticks by. There's a time to be born and a time to die, a time to stay grounded and a time to fly, a time for laughter and a time to cry. I'll be in my little corner of life as your time ticks by. Yeah, so that's My Little Corner. That's the first verse from My Little Corner off of DJ Criminal's upcoming album. And like I said, we got a video for the joint, and it's super fire. So yeah, man. So today we are discussing creating through struggle, and the reason I wanted to talk about this, especially with Supastition, and we'll get into the details in the interview, but not too long ago, my wife was diagnosed with 2 types of cancer. She has breast cancer and as well as ovarian cancer. And in that time, like I had been working on a lot of music and a lot of things that I wanted to get out, to the people. And, it was just kind of difficult. I'm sorry. It was just kind of difficult for me to kind of concentrate on getting the music out and finishing the writing and, just really concentrate on that because, she needed me. And then on top of that, a couple days after she was diagnosed, I was laid off from my job. How awesome is that? So it's just been, a pretty long few months for me. And, a lot of people, if you follow Supastition on Instagram, or if you follow him on Twitter, he has never shied away from, expressing the struggles that he has gone through throughout his career, even dealing with, labels, dealing with producers, hijacking his projects, all kind of shit like that. And also where, we kind of could relate on this struggle thing is in 2019, his wife was diagnosed with breast cancer. And around that same time is when he dropped the Sacrifice EP, which is an amazing piece of music. If you haven't heard it, go check it out at supastition.bandcamp.com, I believe is the link, and the link will be in the description of this video. But we talk about that, and we talk about how that kind of strengthened him, and how her support of him in a time when she was the one that needed the support kind of pushed him. And and I'm going through the same situation with my wife, so I thought it would be dope to discuss that. And because there's a lot of us that deal with struggle, that deal with and it may not be something as extreme as somebody in your family dealing with a disease, or somebody in your family dealing with something harsh, but it just may be something simple, but it's a struggle for you to deal with that and get through that creative process. So I wanted to have this discussion with Supa, and really like dive into that. And also he does share a super dope joint at the end that's unreleased from his group coming up, Speaker Bullies. So without further ado, we're going to dive into the Supastition 5-spot interview. And he is in the comments if you have any questions or concerns, or just props, or whatever you want to divulge on, man. So without further ado, Supastition 5-spot. All right, what up, everybody? What up, Beats and B-Sides? We are here, the 5-spot. Got my special guest in the house, Supastition. What up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. Peace. How's everything?
Good, man. Good. So it's a great thing to have you on. And a lot of people don't know, but we go way back.
Like, it's crazy. The first time I met you, Blueprint, and Prism all on the same day. And so I came out to the show just as like a fan, because I'm just an underground hip hop head. And I came up after the show and shit. I was like, yo, man, peace, man. Yo, y'all did y'all thing, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yo, peace, man. I'm Supastition. Y'all was like, Supastition? I was like, oh, y'all know who the fuck I am? Like, I came up as a mere peasant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
man.
But yeah, man, we all just stayed in touch, man. Just trips back and forth to Columbus and things like that, or whenever y'all brothers was in town. I tried to always, when y'all came to Charlotte, I always tried to come out and see y'all.
Yeah. So yeah, man, again, it's great to have you on. So on the 5-spot today, we are going to talk about creating through struggle. And I know a lot of people, a lot of my fans and stuff, my family knows, but a lot of my fans and stuff don't know, my wife is going through cancer treatment right now. And I know you had to deal with some things like that. And, you've documented, what I'm saying, a lot of the struggles that you've gone through throughout your career. Right. So, we're going to dive into that. But first question I ask everybody, who are you? Let everybody know who you are, to the depths of everything. Let everybody know who you are.
I am, Cam Moy. I am, Supastition is the rap name. First off, I'm a wonderful father and husband. that becomes before everything. And after that, that's when I try to, find time to do music. It's crazy because this episode's about struggle, but I probably have different struggles, but I'm not struggling financially anymore because, I've got a job outside of music too, you know what I'm saying? So, and you understand that as well too, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I'm just, just a recording artist, out of North Carolina, based in Atlanta now for the last 6 or 7 years. People may know me as, numerous collaborations with some of everybody, man. I'm like the Deadpool of rap. I'm like the mercenary. Like, I'm not truly with the X-Men, and I'm not really a bad guy, but I show up when I'm needed. You know what I mean? I'm the mercenary for hire. Man.
Right. Feel that. All right. Word. Well, all right. So creating through struggle. I know that when you put out the Sacrifice EP, that was when your wife was going through her cancer, correct?
That is correct. I had actually started that project prior to the song sitting around, and I just kept, I'll get to it. And then right when I decided, like, all right, I'm gonna finish it and put it out, I hadn't even titled it yet. That's when we got the diagnosis, and I literally just dropped everything, because I didn't know what else to do. She was diagnosed with breast cancer, but when you find out that you have cancer, they don't tell you what stage it is. They still have to run tests and all these other things. So there was a level of just uncertainty and just not knowing what was going to happen. And I put the project aside for a while. She went through a 2-week period of recovery where she couldn't even wash herself, you know what I mean? Like, she couldn't get up, because she had just the double mastectomy. So, and just that in general was a lot. And I took 2 weeks off of work, and as I was sitting there every day, I was just waiting on her hand and foot just to make sure she was good. And about the second week, she was like, listen, I'm good. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna be here. And she saw in me that, that's where the title comes from. She saw that I was just sacrificing more of myself, just for her than I was. She was like, look, you have to do things that you love too. She was like, I know you were working on music. Why don't you go work on some music? And I'm just looking at her like, are you crazy? Like, this ain't the time for that, But She reminded me that no matter what, you still have to carry on. You still have to, you still have to push through life, regardless of what the struggle is, regardless of what the fight is, regardless of what the battle was. So I put the songs together, and I actually reached out to Blueprint, and I was like, hey man, I got this project. I got all the songs finished. My mind isn't clear. I'm like, yo, just listen to the songs and just tell me what order they should go into, And so I was like, all right, now send everything over to Print, and Print hit me back, and just kind of just outlined it. Look, you should put this song first, and that, put this song here. And, he helped out a lot or whatever. So that's when, Sacrifice was probably, it was one of the most difficult times that I've ever been through. But I can say it was one of the most rewarding times as well, too, because the support that people showed for me during that time was better than anything I'd ever experienced in my career,
That's crazy. All right, yeah. So to piggyback on that, do you find it easier to be creative when things are going well, or when you're going through something, or just coming out of going through something?
Well, historically for me, it's always easier to write about a struggle. Mm-hmm. If anybody that has listened to my music will know, I talk about my life. I've talked about being broke for 3 or 4 albums. I've just talked about different things like that. Now I'm in a position where I'm not broke anymore. And I had to kind of ask myself, what the hell do you rap about now? Like, you're not, I'm not a broke rapper. You know what I'm saying? I'm a rapper. I don't make a lot of money from music, but I still have money. So I'm like, well, damn, I got to pivot. So what do I talk about? And for me, it's like, all right, I got to speak on life, because no matter what level you are financially or what you're going through, there's always something to rap about. It's just, but you have to speak on it from a different perspective than what the average person was. Because I would say, even if I was the millionaire right now, I would still find some creative shit to rap about. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I had to look inside of myself and say, well, okay, I'm no longer pulling from this, my inner struggles of my day-to-day life or what I'm going through, but this is where the creative writing kicks in. Right. I've always been able to tell stories and write songs, and people couldn't tell whether it was a true story or whether it was some shit that I made up. So, and that's what I started to, that's what I started to pull from. But for me, it was always easier to write from, just from a struggle standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, same with me. Like, whenever I'm going through something heavy, like, that's when I write, I think, my best music is when something is going on that is hard for me to explain just to have a conversation with somebody. So I need to have that conversation with the paper. It's a different kind of release,
it's therapy,
yeah, it's definitely therapy. So yeah, I definitely, like, and I've looked at it historically. Most people, just people talking about their writing and their writing process, most people write their best music when they're either really high or really down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
When things are going really, really good, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, some people can talk about the good times and, like, things that are going well, but when things are going really, really bad, it comes out then too. Right.
And you know what? That's the gift and the curse as well too, because I made an album under my government name, Cam Moy, some years back, and people were so used to hearing me just talk about struggle and the things that I was going through. And I made that album. That album was just kind of uplifting and positive, and fans was like, man, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I had to realize that, nobody wants to hear Mary J. Blige make a happy album. Nobody wanted to hear Run DMC rap like Naughty by Nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, Down with the King was cool, but it's people expect a certain thing from you. And if you don't set that tone early in your career, like an Outkast or Kendrick or somebody that every time out, I'm going to do something completely different, then, it could be the gift and the curse later on. But that's what I had to realize, man.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, because I had the same issue when I put out Diabolical Fun. That was my
I love that record though. I love that fucking record though.
And MCs love it. MCs really like it. But my fans, because it was the follow-up to Celestial Clockwork. So my fans are like, what the fuck? Why are you so happy? Why is everything so up-tempo? Why, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the sadness? You know what I'm saying? Where's the darkness? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely feel that, man.
They hold you in that particular, like, fans like to hold you in a particular moment. Like, the way we look at Nas, we look at Nas as if it's still 1993 and 1994. No matter if this man, makes 10 albums, we're just like, we're stuck in that Illmatic. It's almost like somebody that does cocaine or crack for the first time. It's like you hit that one high. That classic album is your high, and then all your fans are just like, I need that hit. I need it. They're chasing that high from that first album or their favorite album every time. And sometimes it's unfair to the artist, but I mean, what can you say? I mean, we can just creative and we can create it and the people respond to it.
Yeah, man, definitely. So where do you find the strength to power through, when you're going through struggle? Where do you find the strength to power through and still create in that, in that dark time or in that downtime?
Man, I can tell you the first place the strength comes from is looking at family. Every day I walk out of these doors, I see my kid. And I was listening to my man, Jerry Barrow. He has a podcast, and, it's about fatherhood. And he was interviewing somebody, and I think it was Cat Williams said that, my kids look at me as that one guy or that one person who knows how to do everything. They look at us like we're superheroes, regardless of our faults and our flaws and the things that we go through. Like, your kids look at you as like, Dad, you can do it all. You can, if I want to sit down and play video games with them, I can. If they have a question about just their homework, I can help them. It's just like, that's what I look at, like, for my kids. Also with my wife, whenever, I get down, I realize, I just think back of what she went through, like when she had cancer. I always use that as a place to, it's just like, look, whenever I get to my lowest point, it's like, look, you're still alive, you're still pushing. And, I always look to her because, I maybe saw her cry once during that whole ordeal. After that, she was strong. She was super strong. I'm like, women are warriors, man. Mm-hmm. Like, so I look at that. I also look at my mother. I watched my mother come up like my mother had me when she was 17 years old. She had a college basketball scholarship, still went to college and things like that. She tore both of her MCLs at different times, had to come back home, had to start all the way over. But to this day, like she's taking care of herself. She's she's not rich by any means, but I've just watched the progression. So I look back at family for one, because it's the most humbling experience. So a lot of times I just pull from, just the inner strength of the people around me. And I try to always surround myself with good people. You can find dope rappers and dope musicians anywhere, but just finding good people is very hard to find. And that's one thing I had to learn. And so I pull from the people around me. I got some good brothers around me that, good brothers and sisters around me that, they're always about moving forward. They're always about helping each other and things like that. And they're about family. So that's where I pull it from.
Yeah, man, I definitely feel that. Family is super important. Super important to me as well. Like my mother, my grandmother, just watching them and knowing their stories and the things that they've gone through, and still here, and still made it and still are prosperous and successful. You know what I'm saying? Like that's definitely something to gather strength from.
And you can always count on them to put you in your place. Like they don't care about you being illogic. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Look, that's one thing that I learned, when I stepped away from the music industry. I think it was back in like 2009, 2010. That's one reason that I had to, because I had gassed myself up for being Supastition for so long. It's like, y'all can't tell me nothing. Like thousands of people love me and they're like, no, you need to get your shit together. I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. Like, right. I'm on tour making money. I'm taking care of y'all. They're like, nah, bro, you need to get your shit together. So that's one thing I looked at family, because, if we turn these cameras off and these mics off, fans we're just gonna be a memory to fans, but we still have to look towards our family, look them in the face every day and still provide for them. So
yeah, man, my wife will bring me down to earth in a minute,
about your little rap song.
Right, right. Go wash the dishes. You know what I'm saying? Go put my shelf together. Go put my shelf up,
Yeah,
man,
for real.
That's so real. Now, a lot of people, people that are fans of you know this, but people that may not know, you also produce.
Yes.
And you're a very dope producer. Sacrifice EP was produced all by you.
Appreciate it.
And it's probably one of my favorite works of yours.
Wow, yeah, I appreciate that. I remember listening to Super Duty and, man, just hear y'all brothers. That's when I knew I had something. When I heard you brothers talk about, like, to me, I don't care what no other like critics or anything say, but it's like, when I heard y'all speak on it, I was just like, wow, because as well as I do as an artist, when we put stuff out, we don't know what people will respond to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something that we think is the best thing that we've ever done, they'll just be like, this ain't it. This ain't it. It's a 3.5 out of 5, dog. Like, it's like, damn. So when you showed love to me on Sacrifice, man, it meant a lot, because, I have just the ultimate respect for you, and just as a lyricist, as a man, just in general, you know what I mean? So that means a lot. You know what I mean?
All right, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate that too. So as a producer,
I do. Yeah, I make a little beats here and there.
I do a little something.
I do my thug thizzle.
Now, as a producer and an MC, do you find it easier, or I don't know if easier is the right word. Do you find it more fulfilling emotionally to produce or to write?
Emotionally, definitely writing. I would choose more, just from the emotional standpoint, is because I can make a beat and maybe it's because I haven't been making beats for 30 years or something, but I'll make a beat and then I'll just move on to the next beat. Like I can make a dark beat, I can make a happy beat, I can make a grimy beat, I can make some soulful shit all in one night. I make like 4 or 5 beats in one night and just keep it going. But with writing a song, like, just because I've been rhyming for so long, it has to be perfect. Every word has to be, perfect. It has to give me a certain feeling when I listen back to it. You know what I mean? So definitely from just from the writing standpoint, I enjoy that more emotionally. Now, for me, I probably enjoy the actual creating process. I like beats more, because in order for me to write, I have to be alone. I don't like to be in a room with a bunch of people. I don't like distractions. When I got a song or a concept, I want to sit down and I don't come out until I'm complete with it. Now, if I'm making a beat, I could, start on the beat and hear the kids, Dad, or get a phone call. I can come back to that beat. But as far as just writing and things like that, once you once you lose that thunder for that second, you know what I mean? It's just like, I'll come back to this another day or something like that. Or maybe not even, how many songs we have, one verses and one hook, and never finished it up.
Right.
So, it's a different creative process for me.
Yeah, definitely. Like for me, I feel the same way. Writing is definitely the easiest or the best way to get my emotions out. But I do find that learning how to make beats, since I've been producing, I have another outlet for my emotion. Mm-hmm. Like there's a few beats that I've made when I was in an emotional place, when I didn't necessarily feel like writing, but I was down in the studio and I, made a beat. And, there's a few beats like where I've had some hard times and, dealing with some things, and the wife will come down like, that beat sounds so sad. Like, you okay? Like, what's like, what's going on? And, like those beats, there was something going on, and I got to pour my emotion out in another way, as opposed to just writing. Because, before, when I was just a rapper and just writing, that's all I had to pour that emotion into, or even a conversation. But now that I have production, like, I have that extra outlet, you know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate that with production. So we're coming to our last question, man.
And some days you just don't feel like talking to anybody, like.
Oh yeah. So
sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to my DAW. I'll talk to my controller.
Yeah, exactly.
So we coming to the last question, man. This was nice and
dope,
nice
man.
and quick.
Spot. I like this, man.
Yeah,
I wish I thought this shit up myself, man. Coming to you next week, Supastition is 6 spot. Nah, cats will take your idea, just run with it, man. Mine's different, man.
I'm a little different. I flipped it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So the last question, then you're gonna share some new music with us.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. But last question. When dealing with struggle, what would you say are 3 attributes that a creative should have or attempt to develop in order to stay creative and get through that?
3? Man, one of them is just probably just to man. Like, that's one thing you have to have. Optimism. And when I say optimism, I'm not just speaking on, just the outlook on life, but you have to speak to yourself, because writer's block is all mental. So you have to speak to yourself and tell yourself, listen, you have created works that are you're probably going to create something even better than something you've ever written or you've ever produced. So you've got to be optimistic and sure of yourself to say, look, I can continue creating. No matter what I feel right now, I've got something dope that I have to say, or I got something dope that I want other people to hear. And a lot of times that's one of my biggest struggles too, is just with, it's not really writer's block, but it's that inner struggle of, can you convince yourself that you can continue to create something as dope as your last shit, know? And that's why, I listen to some of my music, but I don't ride around listening to it a lot, or after I release it, if I don't perform it, that shit is just gone. I'm moving on to the next one or whatever. So perseverance, just kind of an optimistic outlook on just your creativity. And what's the last one? I'm trying to find the right words for this one, man. I would just say push through it, man. Push through it. And one thing that I've learned from Print, in this conversation that I had with Blueprint, was that, he was saying, your biggest struggle that you have is that you don't create a lot. So when you sit down to try to create something, you have this big struggle against yourself. It's like, continue to just create. Do a little bit here, do a little bit there every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're a producer, just look for some drums some days, or look for a sample or something like that, or go in, add a bass line to a beat that you already had or something like that. Or if you're an artist or something, just lay a hook down, work on one verse. Like, a lot of times we get so caught up on, we have to complete an entire song, or, this song has to be better than anything that we've done. Just keep working at it, man. Keep working at it. And that gets your percentage up, Right. In hip hop, you got to be a volume shooter. Now, you may not release everything that you do, but you're going to have to, you're going to have to fire up 30 shots a game. Yeah, and, nobody's watching. Once you put out 10 joints, they don't know you shot 30 times. When you put together an album, they don't know you recorded 30 or 35 songs, or you may have 20 songs that were unfinished that you scrapped. So it's like, you just got to be a volume shooter, man, and just, pick from that, the best percentage of the songs that you recorded. So.
Yeah. Me and Print were talking about this on Super Duty when we was calling it play the percentages. Like make sure, like, because if you only do 3 beats, you know what I'm saying, then and all of them suck, you're not gonna feel great. But if you do 10 beats, you know what I'm saying, if you do 10 beats, most likely you might shoot 50%. You know what I'm saying? So just keep it pushing and keep it going.
The words of Prince. Say it again for my people in the back. Exactly, dude. Like, that is gospel. That is absolutely gospel, man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, man, I appreciate you being on the 5 spot, man. I appreciate you answering the questions. Hopefully the people can learn something from this. And so you gonna share something new with us? What's what you gonna share today?
So what I'm gonna do, because I've been working on this project with my man Praise, who's like my in-house producer. We got a group called Speaker Bullies. And I tell you, this is probably some of the most gutter shit. Like, we wanted something that, represented us. Like, the whole concept between Speaker Bullies is that, we're 2 grown men, 2 responsible adults. But to be honest, being a responsible adult is boring as shit. So we feel like everybody has an outlet. Like, sometimes you could be a good guy, but sometimes you just want to fuck shit up. You know what I'm saying? Or you're a married man. Sometimes you want to wild out and just do some crazy stuff. So Speaker Bullies is our outlet. It's like, hey, when you see us in person, you're just like, yo, these are calm, cool, professional dudes. But when you press play, it's almost like Run the Jewels meet Sean P, Prodigy, just super disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But then when we, the song's over, we're just like, hey man, yeah, this is us, So we think it's just a great contrast. So
nice. I'm excited to hear this.
Hey, indeed, man.
Say, old dude, what's wrong with you? Why don't you cancel all this noise you're making? Can't even hear my radio for you.
Just last year, ain't nobody wanna mention the OG. Now they throwing me the crown and the emperor's clothing. Got a better team, stronger mind, mentally focused. 17 concubines attempted to rob me. I'm a mastermind. Fuck what the next man do. Go find a bathroom sign if you want a sex symbol. I make enemies with my tendency to piss off people. My lines rarely miss like Chris Paul free throws. These lames try to hold me back, boy, did y'all fail. Your whole squad caught it. Mr. Moy brought him hell. After fights, having shirt looking like Gordon Gartrell. But y'all cockroaches could not stop both of us. Rap CEO, see I earn it potential. When they talk numbers, I just see a permanent pencil. If anybody want beef, I don't really speak threats. See, none of y'all could be first, but all y'all could be next. I think that bullies get a bad rap, bad rap. I think that bullies get a bad rap, bad rap, bad. Cause we take what's yours, then we claim it is ours. They say that we abuse and our powers. You allow it, man, these bullies get a bad rap, bad rap. I think that bullies get a bad rap, bad rap, bad. Cause we take what's yours, then we claim it is ours. They say that we abuse and our power. Walking with a jaguar on a leash, trash talking to police. Homegrown, hoodie on, black Barclays on my feet. We don't bargain with promoters, lowballing us for cheap. Charge the Sandman a fee just for talking in my sleep. Want a discount, bitch bounce, kiss the ring, kiss the ground. Taxing y'all for every time my real name's mispronounced. Till my talents give me the balance of Jada Kiss account. Some haters in the house, hold later with your doubts. I took a look at your life and see why you uninspired. Why? Your girlfriend waistline the size of Hummer tires. We showing up to these industry parties uninvited. Speaker Bullies, 2 real brothers versus 100 liars. The undenier, old soul with young praise beats fire, but the flow so cold, you loco, bro. You offer me a promo show, I show up just to throw you in a chokehold, yo. I'm ignorant for no reason, you hate who I become. I'm sleeping with your girl and drinking your kids' Capri Suns. These bums, they don't want it, I go Chief Keef dumb. So disrespectful over these drums, bong bong. Y'all cheering on that bullshit, swinging pom-poms, but I'm wrong. What? Middle finger to your mom's. It's a cold world, hope you fools brought your a long john. Still blast the speaker bullies music when I'm long gone. I think the bullies get a bad rap, bad rap. I think the bullies get a bad rap, bad rap. Cause we take what's yours, then we claim it is ours. They say that we abuse and our powers. You won't allow it, man. These bullies get a bad rap, bad rap. I think the bullies get a bad rap, bad rap. Cause we take what's yours, then we claim it is ours. They say that we abuse and our powers. You won't allow it.
Yeah, that's the joint, man. That's this shit is high energy, man.
Yo. What'd you say your girl's waistline look like? What kind of tires?
The size of Hummer tires. It's mad. This album's mad disrespectful, man.
Yo,
and
that's
the crazy thing, the balance is like, Praise is a Christian guy. So, he lets me get away with a lot, but when I go too far, he like, yo. You gotta dial it back a little bit, Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. That's just
what I'm saying?
That's just dope. So when can we expect that? Y'all got a time frame, release schedule y'all looking at?
We were actually trying to drop it this year, but we actually got offered a little dilly deal for it. So we're trying to work out the specifics on that one. So that'll probably be early next year. But I have another project that I'm gonna drop before the end of the year too. So I'm trying to figure out if it's gonna be the self-produced joint or I have another project that I was working on with Shiloh. It was actually supposed to be Shiloh and Marco Polo. Marco knocked out a song, and him and Shiloh are really close. And Shiloh I sent him vocals, and Shiloh knocked out like 10 songs in 3 weeks, man. So I definitely got some stuff coming, but definitely before the end of the year. But Speaker Bullies, early next year, man. We're trying to do this shit like right. We're trying to do it right.
Word. Well, we will be looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Definitely.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be some good stuff. But
I get hyped when I listen to that shit. That's why I was telling you, like, yo, you calm, but when you press play, you like, God damn. Like,
yeah, that's some shit to ride around summertime with, looking at people like right. What?
Yeah. Say something. Do something.
Word.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for joining me on the 5 spot, man. We definitely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, my pleasure, bro. My pleasure, man. Respect.
All right. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Yeah. That was a dope interview. I really want to thank Supastition for joining me on the 5 spot. Thank y'all for checking it out. And yeah, we're gonna keep it moving. I am gonna be dropping a couple more of these videos. Also, the Beats and B-Sides family, those who are have been following the stream, since its inception last year. Y'all know y'all get all the news first. So be on the lookout. The Celestial Clockwork double vinyl reissue. I will be starting that pre-order in the next few weeks. There's going to be, and if you don't remember, this is what it's going to look like. Exclusive. All the exclusive stuff. So, but in a couple weeks, I will be starting that pre-order, and it's only 300 copies available. Only 300 copies available. So once I start the pre-order, they'll probably move pretty fast. I am going to also have some posters to go along with those, and I will be doing some special things for this campaign, doing like a weekly song breakdowns and things of that nature, for my classic album, Celestial. So be on the lookout for that. Follow me if you haven't clicked on the subscribe button on my YouTube page. Hit that subscribe button. Also, just share with your friends. Let your friends know. And with us talking at the beginning of this, my wife is going through cancer and going through chemo right now. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't been as consistent as I would like to be with doing this. I'm really trying to make sure that she's straight as well as, you know, getting all of my ducks in a row for the rest of the year. I do have a new EP that I finished, new EP/album that I have finished soon. And, you know, that'll be coming out hopefully early next year. I was trying to do it this year, but it's looking like early next year. And yes, Dan, I will announce the pre-order on here first. You guys will be the first to be able to get the link. So everybody who watches Beats and B-Sides and subscribes to Beats and B-Sides, you guys will be the first to know when the link is dropping. So, you know, be on the lookout. Again, I want to thank Supastition. Also, I want to thank Praise for being in the comments. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to that project with you and Supa, and I'm looking forward to, you know, whatever else that you put out as well. And yeah, man, again, as always, I really appreciate you guys for listening. You know, take care of yourself, take care of your families. And this has been Beats and B-Sides, and we are out. Have a good evening.